Hey there everyone, Nifim here with Heavy Turret, and I'm here today to bring you a 9.3 review on the Tier 8 light tanks that are coming out. We have a very interesting selection of light tanks, so I figured you guys deserve to see them. This video is being uploaded on both the Heavy Turret channel and my own personal channel. I have linked them both at the bottom right of your screen. You can click on either one of those icons to bring you to either channel. So before I start out, I would really like to thank Draconus Rex and Arizona Archer for helping me out in these videos. They both sent me replays and also platooned up with me while I was trying to get the footage. It was really difficult to get the footage for this because during the patch, you get only tier 10, so it's very difficult to play a tier 8 light tank and you're, dead in 2 shots because everyone wants to play the 183s or the Jagdpanzer E100s. So, yeah, it was kind of difficult. It took us a long time to get some decent recordings, and even then, the recordings weren't the best. So, I'm sorry about the quality of the matches that we played, but anyway, they should give you the basic hint of how the tank plays. So here we have a training room. I have Draconus Rex with me and Arizona Archer, and we're determining the differences between the tanks. Start with starting up with the mobility test. We want to see which one was fastest in accelerating and top speed in a straight line. So here you guys can see for yourself how they compare. So the mobility of these light tanks is actually somewhat deceiving. As you can see on flat ground, the T-49 pulls ahead of the others. However, each one handles terrain differently. Like that. The T-49 light tank has this, I don't know if it's a bug or what it is, but it takes terrain differently than the others. You'll see it comes up here again. When it hits this wooden panel, it flips out. The other tanks don't do that. What I've noticed occurring in the public matches when I play these tanks is that the Spa-Panzer German tank, the Tier 8, seems to get around the map faster than the other two. This is probably due to its better terrain resistance. T-49 light tank has a bigger problem maintaining its top speed, while the Spa-Panzer maintains it well. Also, the Spa-Panzer has an amazing descent rate. When you go down hills, it really picks up speed. While the T-49 light tank may have the top speed out of all three of them, it rarely ever reaches it in regular pub matches, just because of the difficulty it has going over terrain. As you can see, the body is a bit shorter, and it rocks more when it goes over difficult terrain. So our next test was the body turning test. We want to see which one would be able to turn the body the fastest. As you'll notice here, along with many Russian tanks, the T-54 lightweight is unable to pivot turn. This is a big deal for some scout drivers who know why this can be a problem. Usually when you're trying to get into a bush, you may have difficulty and may need to back up and move forward to get into it without the pivot turning. While with the other two tanks, you do get neutral turning, which is one track moves forward and the other track moves back, which can be an advantage in some circumstances. T-54 lightweight can only turn around by one track stopped and the other track moving. The next test that we did was the reversing test. The T-49 lightweight and the Spa-Panzer reversed at pretty much the same speed. The T-54 lightweight fell behind after some distance. Now you may ask, why would I want the T-54 lightweight? It's a light tank, doesn't have any armor, it doesn't move as fast as the others, it doesn't have a giant derp cannon. Well, it's because, while it doesn't have much armor, it has enough that it doesn't get overmatched. Overmatching is a game mechanic in when a shell 3 times larger than the thickness of the armor will automatically penetrate. It essentially tears through the metal of the tank, as seen in the picture above, while a normal penetration looks like a bullet hole, where it'll just go through the armor. The thickness of the armor on the T-54 lightweight makes it so that it can automatically ricochet a shell if it hits the armor at an extreme angle, which I don't think any other light tank has the ability to do. Many T-54 drivers will be very comfortable in this tank because you can still play it and hold down low locations where you can use your turret to bounce off shells. While it won't bounce shells as reliably as the T-54, you still have a much higher chance to ricochet a shell than any other light tank. Next test we did was gun elevation. We all aimed at the top of the building and moved forward until we could no longer see the top, no longer aim at the top of the building. The T-49 and the Spa Panzer came quite about equal, while of course the Russian T-54 lightweight came in last and was not able to raise the gun as high as the others. For the last tank comparison test, we aimed at the bottom of the building, the corner where the ground touches the wall, to see who had the best gun depression. And unsurprisingly again, the T-49 light tank had the best gun depression. The Spa Panzer, like a true German, similar to the Leopard, came quite far behind. And of course the T-54 and its Russian gun depression came in last.
That was close.
So as any 152mm derp cannon shooting HE, it has some degree of splash. So we tested the T-49's splash radius. It was surprisingly how big we were able to get it. On this next shot, it was about the maximum area that we could get the blast.
That was close.
So after all that tank testing, I bet you're dying now to see some action. So, here we go. We have Arizona Archer playing the T-54 lightweight. Thank you again for platooning up with me tonight and trying to get some good, decent recordings. Arizona Archer is going to play the Hill, which is an amazing spot for this tank because it has that strong turret armor and low profile. It can get away with using the little ditch up on the side of the hill near the red line. So he's going to show us the abilities that this tank has with its good fire rate, good damaging gun, low profile, and strong armor. So here he goes. He's reached the ditch, which is an extremely strong spot for this tank. He can move up and spot the hill, just poking his turret over so he can bounce any incoming shots if he gets lit. And he can fall back into that ditch, protecting him from pretty much all fire. The only thing he has to worry about back there is the artillery. He's going to make use of the spot here, shooting whatever he can on the right, and also protecting the hill, keeping these guys off. So, as I mentioned, this is the beta server, and the players on it are just about the worst scum you could ever find. That AMX-50B just shot his own teammate there for no reason. The majority of the people that play on the beta server probably aren't even above tier 5. They come in here and play the tier 10s to see what they're like, and when they get bored, they just start killing teammates. This AMX-50B is no exception.
Penetration. Enemy armor is hit.
You can see there Arizona Archer just got hit in the turret and managed to bounce the round. I think it hit his gun manlet. Also, you can see him unleashing a hail of bullets on those enemy tanks. The fire rate on this tank is really amazing. So its damage per minute is quite good.
Penetration.
So you can see there Arizona just managed to bounce a shot from an AMX-50B. An AMX-50B is quite a high penetration tank, and it was unable to overmatch the turret armor because it's so thick. On most light tanks, AMX-50B would automatically pen no matter where it hit, no matter how extreme the angle, but not on the T-54 light tank.
Penetration. Enemy is hit. Enemy armor is hit. Penetration. Enemy armor is destroyed. Enemy armor is hit. Enemy is hit.
So next up we got myself in the Stahlpanzer, the German Tier 8 light tank. As I said, this thing really, its key trait was its maneuverability and its ability to drive over difficult terrain. Its ground resistance is really high, so it can cross the map in a very short amount of times. The gun on it is similar to the T-54 lightweight, however I believe it reloads a bit faster, which is good because it increases its DPM. Penetration is also pretty good. Later on in this video I'm able to penetrate the side armor of a mouse fairly consistently with just the standard AP rounds. The heat, it goes right through. Now unfortunately this may not be the most exciting replay. I do a lot of driving because this thing is very good at it and it's fun. If you like to drift tanks, this one out of the new Tier 8 light tanks drifts the best. Although the T-49 goes faster, it sticks to the ground more. This one tends to slide. So if you like your sliding tanks, this is a good one. So as I go down the hill here, notice how fast it can go. Its downhill speed is very, very good. The T-54 lightweight and the T-49 tend to maintain their maximum speed even on the downhills. This one can accelerate far past it. So as I said, the T-54 drivers would feel right at home in the lightweight version of the tank. Same could be said for this tank and the Leopard 1. The Leopard 1 and the Spa Panzer share many similarities, both in how it maneuvers, its gun depression, its speed, its drifting, many similarities. So if you own a Leopard 1, this is a must-buy for a Tier 8 light tank.
Target acquired. One of our gas tanks ruptured. We're low on fuel. Where'd they go? Penetration. Penetration.
So although it shows an orange for the penetration value, I was still able to penetrate the mouse with pretty reasonable consistency. I tried to take a shot at the back of the turret here, but was unable to
We
penetrate.
didn't even scratch them.
And oddly enough, heat worked on the side of the tank, which is strange because heat is...
We didn't penetrate their
the
armor.
side of the mouse is spaced armor, and heat doesn't do well in spaced armor.
We
But
didn't
regardless,
penetrate their
penetrated
armor.
anyway.
Enemy armor is damaged. We didn't even scratch them.
So have you ever heard that saying, that it's crazy enough, it just might work? That's kind of like this tank in a nutshell. It does some crazy things and can get away with it. Yes, that is a 152mm cannon on the front of that tank. A light tank nonetheless. It's very similar to the KV-2 in its reload time, about 20 seconds, so you can get near 3 shots per minute, which isn't great, but this is like a hit and run tank. You pop out, take a shot, and then escape, and then come back later when you're reloaded. It was quite funny. There was a lot of waffle tractors playing on the beta server, which honestly I think is a death sentence because there's so many of these T-49s running around. With good reason. The T-49 light tank is by far the most interesting tank to come out of this beta test. So yeah, this tank, it is a extremely fast KV-2 essentially. All you TDs out there have something new to fear. Thing with this tank and the KV-2 is the KV-2 has the hand of Stalin guiding its shells.
That was close.
This tank has no such luck. You can aim in fully and this tank will still miss. This tank is best used at very close range when you can just blast someone in the side and no matter what you will hit. Fully aimed shot on that bat chat, nothing. I mean, you could fully aim a shot at anyone and you'd still miss for some reason. KV2, you can cross-map someone. Not so much with this tank, even when fully aimed.
Ready to fire. Critical hit. Target unlocked.
Remember what I said about this tank and doing crazy
Target
things?
acquired.
Stuff that's just so crazy it might work. Yeah. Does it pretty well.
Track hit. Enemy armor is damaged. We're
And they
immobilized.
can get away with it too.
Let's find another target.
Oh boy, I hope you want to watch that again, except this time in slow motion, because I sure do.
One of our tracks is damaged. Enemy armor is damaged. We're immobilized. Let's find another target.
At this point, you think this is the part where I die, except not, because the 57 was
Target
reloading.
acquired.
So I got kind of lucky on this one.
Enemy vehicle destroyed. Target acquired. Enemy armor is destroyed.
So when I said that the best tactic in this tank was point blanking people, I really mean it. I mean, literally get right up in their face and then do that to them, because, well, it's funny. You should. So I thought at first this guy was AFK, and you know, like, hey, that's cheating, you should be shooting at AFK tanks, there's other more dangerous tanks to shoot at. But I guess after I shot him, he started moving, so I don't know, he wanted to wait till he lost the majority of his HP before he started getting in the fight. Which is interesting, so I'll take that. He wasn't AFK, he was just lazy, I guess.
Gotcha.
So I'd like to thank you guys for watching the video. We're coming to the end here. I'll give you guys my opinion on the three tanks. To be honest, the T-49 light tank I wouldn't take it as a serious tank. It's like the KV-2. You play it for fun in pub matches. I would never use it in a tournament or anything of that sort. It's just too unreliable. The gun doesn't want to hit what you want it to what you aim it at. The Stompanzer and the T-54, however, are a different story. I would use both of them in a tournament. I think my personal favorite was the Stompanzer. It's just got the mobility I really like. When I play light tanks, I expect them to take damage, so playing the T-54 with its armor is nice, but I don't want to have to play in a position where I'm expecting to take hits. I like to play the Stompanzer because it's got the mobility, it's got a good gun. As you saw earlier, I was able to pen a mouse on the majority of the shots that I put at it, even with the standard AP rounds. So yeah, that's my opinion. I thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to either my channel or the Heavy Turret channel, or both if you'd like. Thank you guys, and have a good day.